Oh boy. Oh boy. Another Will Levis video on the Mr. Truth YouTube channel. I can't believe I'm doing this again. I have to keep rehashing videos on these shit quarterbacks because they keep putting up dud performances and I have to keep talking about it. And the saddest part about this one is the entire excuse of the whole season for Will Levis. The main one has been that his offensive line has been trash. They've been allowing pressures, they've been allowing sacks, and they've been horrible. In this game, Will Levis threw 27 passes, right? 27 passing attempts. In those 27 attempts, he was sacked 0 times. He was kept clean and well protected throughout the entire duration of this football game. And what is the amazing stat line that Will Levis put up on this fateful Sunday? Well, he went 16 of 27 for a humiliating and embarrassing 95 yards with a terrible 3.5 average yards per throw, only 1 touchdown alongside 1 interception, and sacked 0 times with a passer rating of 63.0. Embarrassing isn't the correct or apt word or term to use in a situation like this. This is, in my opinion, from what I saw when I was watching, one of the all-time worst quarterback performances. I saw a guy who was scared. A guy who was scared to throw. A guy who was scared to take a risk. A guy who was underthrowing, overthrowing, just missing targets, who had erratic accuracy and unpredictable placement on the ball. A guy who was throwing with terrible trajectory on his passes. A guy who wasn't reading the coverage, who was telegraphing throws, locking onto his first read. He looked like a fucking bum in this game. Once again, this is one of the all-time worst quarterback performances from what I've seen. And I went and rewatched some of the highlights of the game to sort of affirm what I was seeing. And my lordy lord, folks, it's got to be top 10 worst quarterback performances I've ever seen. And I've watched plenty of Bryce Young film the past year, and this might be the worst than any game Bryce Young's played in. Because, as little upside as Young has, at least he had one okay game in his rookie season. One game where you could say he was serviceable, that he helped his team stay competitive. Will Levis is a quarterback that you draft in the late rounds that will help you that year get the number 1 overall pick. Yet Tennessee has trotted him out there willingly trying to win games in an attempt to actually win at the NFL level. Go back to my Will Levis scouting report about a year ago, and my projection was an early 2nd round pick. To be honest, I was generous. I wanted to make him a 5th, 6th round guy because I really believed that he was fucking horrible. But I saw the upside, the tools, and the potential, and I slated him as an early 2nd rounder because maybe if you sit him for a whole year behind a good veteran quarterback like Tannehill, he'll be good. And you surround him with decent weapons, which, by the way, the Titans have Tyler Boyd, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, Tyjae Spears, Tony Pollard, the Okonkwo guy. What else does he fucking need? He has a really good offense. The line is bad. It's not good, but in this game, they kept him upright in the pocket, and he couldn't deliver when it mattered. And that's all that really matters. If you can't deliver in big moments, and if you can't make plays happen, then what's the point of you being on the field? And Will Levis, he's not a natural playmaker. He really has no feel or instincts for the pocket. He has poor pocket presence. He generates pressure. He steps into pressure. He steps into sacks. He rolls into sacks. He eats sacks. He's a sack eater. He's the worst type of quarterback if you're an offensive, especially a tackle. If you're an offensive lineman, especially a left or right tackle, especially left tackle, you're trying to keep him upright from the blind side. He will drift and roll into pressure, and you'll get blamed for the sack because he drifted to your side as the blindside protector. And people will flame you and roast you and clown you on social media because, oh my God, look at the sack he allowed. When the quarterback stepped to that side and willingly got sacked because he has no pocket awareness or presence. Will Levis is not a starter. He is not a backup. This is a guy who would be a 3rd string desperation emergency quarterback just in case. I think he belongs on an NFL roster, but as a high-end 3rd string, low tier second string quarterback. If he has to spot start for your team, you will never win. And if he has to spot start in a meaningful and important game, you will never win. You will never win with Will Levis as a starter unless you give him 5 Anthony Munozes on the line, 5 Jerry Rices, 3 Barry Sanders, a bunch of Rob Gronkowskis, and a defense full of Ed Reeds, Ray Lewises, and fucking Reggie Whites. He cannot... I guarantee you, give him the best offense ever, he would not lead that team to 7 wins. That team would lose because he is a turnover machine. He can't read defense. He can't process info quick enough. He's not made out to be an NFL quarterback. And once again, it all harkens back to his days at Kentucky and college. The glaringly obvious flaws were there, folks. They were all on film. You could just watch the tape. He was erratic. He did not know where the fuck he was looking. He was telegraphing throws. He was panicking under pressure. He was missing open players. And the same shit is happening, except now he's in the National Football League. How do you expect a guy with poor pocket presence, but a strong arm, who can't read coverages to do in the NFL? Just because he oh my God, he has a strong arm and he's slightly mobile. That doesn't mean he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. So whoever was, in that war room, in the draft room for Tennessee when they picked Levis in the second round, saying, yeah, we got to trade up to get this kid. Levis is the future. He will be our franchise savior quarterback. They're going to be fired for sure because this guy is not even a backup at best. Once again, he's the guy who I think if he had to spot start for a good team, he would fucking completely humiliate himself and shit himself. So whoever was involved with that decision will be fired. And Will Levis is probably going to get cut or, traded by the end of the season. I think that in the offseason he'll probably end up getting cut because I can't see Tennessee wanting him. Or really, I don't know if there's any team that would want him as a starter. I don't know if there's any team that will give him a chance because the flaws he puts on tape are really bad. And he is just really not made out to be an NFL quarterback. When you're looking at the game, it's not hard to decipher the fact that he doesn't play like an NFL quarterback. He plays scared of the moment. And that's not a quarterback that you want to be your franchise guy. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.